Eventually, there will be a more formal way for me to begin this show. For now, there's this. Hi. Hello. How are you? I'm Slade Ham. I'm your host of the Slade Ham Experiment. Wow. Who would have figured that? Look at it. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy you've chosen to spend a little bit of your week with me as I work my way through all of the things that keep me up at night. I'm wincing now as I pick up a cup of coffee. That's pathetic. If you're watching the video, you see. If you're listening, I'll tell you what happened. My index finger on my right hand is sore. It's not broken, but it's not perfect. And I've had some injuries in my life. I've torn my ACL. I've torn my meniscus cartilage. I've popped my Achilles tendon. Dislocated a shoulder. I've only broken a toe. That's the only bone I've ever broken. I've had stitches so many times. I look like grandma's quilt. When you shave the side. I shaved my head during the pandemic just to see. Right? Like I'd never seen underneath all the hair. I know I've been hit in the head with a lot of stuff. My brother threw a brick at me when we were kids. I've fallen down in many parking lots. I've split my eyebrow. So when I shaved my head, the side of it looked like the side of a sperm whale. Just like it had been attacked by squid in the deep ocean. I've got stories for days on scars. I got a dent in my leg where I hit a fence while I was running. I got scars and injuries, and I've done things to earn them. And I'm thinking that last night I did this, lifting my weighted blanket. Yeah, I got a weighted blanket related injury. Where does that put me on the you're about to die scale? Someone look that up. Do those lines intersect? The only thing I've ever done worse than that, I coughed really hard once and some nerve in my back broke. But other than this is the most not real thing I've ever done to get an injury. I have a weighted blanket, and I don't know if you have succumbed to the allure of the weighted blanket siren call yet, but I have. I started getting them for gifts. I got one for my brother, and then I got one for my mom because they seemed cool, and I like to get things for other people. I can justify giving you something as a gift, and then if you don't like it, who really cares? It was a gift. It wasn't a big deal. If I buy it for myself and it sucks, then I'm stuck with it. I got this mental anguish. So I'll buy something for you, and then if it sucks, I can sleep okay at night knowing it was just a gift. And you can tell me that it sucked, and then I don't have to go buy it for myself. Well, they fell in love with them. So I went, well, I'll get a blanket. So I got one of these weighted blankets, and I've had it on my couch for a little while, and then I didn't like it. I would lay there. I was like, why does it feel like someone's laying on me while I'm watching TV? Ugh, get it off. But when I sleep at night, dude, it is like being wrapped up in the cocoonest of cocoons. If you don't know what these blankets are, they're like, picture a quilt. You know, it's got the little squares on it, maybe like little 6-inch squares. And it's full of, it's not sand. I'm sure they're like little metal pellets or something. They're heavy. The whole blanket weighs like 15 pounds, maybe 20. I don't remember which one I got. But when I started sleeping with it at night, it's awesome. Except for I toss and turn a little bit at night. I sleep on my side for a little bit. And part of this is the fact that I'm due for a new bed. I've got to get a new bed. I've had this one for a while. It's a super comfortable pillow toppy kind of thing, but it's a V. I've been sleeping in it, like a starfish, for years. And I got a little spot. But anyway, if you lay on that spot, it'll make your shoulder hurt after a while. I think that's what's happening. I don't know. So I get restless and I'll roll over and I'll lay on my back for a little bit. I'll roll back over. I'll roll back over. I'll lay on my back for a little bit. And when you got the blanket on, it's like always having somebody pull. It's like you're living with somebody. Which what we'll come right back to that. But when you flip, like I'll throw my leg or my foot, and you think you're doing it in regular gravity, right? Like you're just kicking a regular blanket, so you only put a regular blanket's worth of effort into it, but you're lifting 15 pounds. It's like having like 3 ankle weights on. So your leg will cramp when you go to fling the blanket, and then I must have done this with my finger in the middle of the night. I must have tossed the blanket back over me, but again, I'm using regular earth gravity finger strength. So I don't put like 4 fingers under there like I'm trying to climb up on a ledge. I just use a finger to toss a blanket over the cold spot. And I pulled it doesn't, this one closes and this one doesn't, and it hurts. And it's a blanket's fault. And I am it's like tugging against a human being to get it. I don't know how people live with people and share a bed. I'll say it. That's one of the, if there's ever a day where this bachelorhood is broken, we are going to talk about how our beds are going to be set in a room like Ozzy and Harriet, or if that makes you uncomfortable, in separate rooms like civilized grown-ups sharing a living space. Because, and even more, so I figured this out in Europe. I was complaining a lot in Europe a little bit about the blankets. When you travel in Europe, most of the beds in a hotel room are full-size beds. They're little beds, just a person beds. And then you can push them together. But they also, if there's a queen-size mattress, there's still 2 full-size blankets on top of the bed. And I would laugh at that. I was like, that's hilarious. You can't get a big blanket in Europe. Big-ass continent like this. And none of these places have big blankets. And then I was like, if I was dating somebody and we were sharing this room, I would be so happy for these 2 blankets. It's the most perfect system imaginable. You don't have somebody's, why do you lay, like, I mean, I get it. There's probably a point that you just grow so accustomed to being around another human being that you're like, I have to be next to them. And I understand that. I'll die if I'm not next to them. What am I going to do if I'm not next to them? I got you. I feel that. Y'all spend some time together. You've probably been together since you were kids or high school or your 20s or whatever. You've surrendered to the fact that the rest of your journey is together and y'all just going to nest it up. But I mean like people who, man, y'all just met and y'all are just now living together and y'all already sleeping in the same bed every night. You haven't even adjusted your temperatures to the same schedule, or you're tossing and turning, or when you wake up, or how you sleep. Like, I'm going to be honest, you got to get off me if we're sleeping. Like, no touch. I'm going to toss and turn, and you got to deal with that. I'm not going to touch you with it. I'm not going to roll into you. I'm civilized. I know where edges are. Define the perimeter. I won't cross my line. I know how to stay in my space. But some of you just want to migrate. Like your job is to touch like it's a bingo card you got to cover by the end of the night. You're flopping and tossing and turning and kicking your leg out to the side, and then this leg's out that direction. And you're covering more territory because y'all are more flexible than we are. Just all spready. And then I'm having to twister my way around that in some sort of odd human Tetris game. And then your body temperature's throwing me off, and you probably snore a bunch. What is the net benefit of doing that in exchange for all of the sleep you don't get? I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and that's his sleeping arrangement. And it makes me think about it. I don't know if that was my little sliver. But you got all this love on the other side of the bed, especially if there's kids and dogs. I get that part. You just sleep in a big piley mess of stuff. I dig that. That's cool. But Just me and you? Why we gotta be so close? What's this? Let's get together when we gotta get together, and then let's get apart. We gotta get apart. This modern society makes you do. Oh, you gotta do that. You guys can't have separate rooms. You're married. You're supposed to do everything together. Blah blah blah. All right, cool. It's the same idiots tell you gotta wear a necktie. I was lost it over that I was somewhere. Where was I going? Doesn't matter. Duh. And they were like, "Oh yeah, you gotta have a tie." Then we're gonna eat in the bar. That's where we're gonna eat in the bar. We're not gonna go inside this stupid place that makes you wear a piece of cloth dangling from your neck. Where did that? Who started neckties? Who's responsible for the culture that we now have to live in that says you got to wear this dangly thing around your stupid neck? Wikipedia will tell me. Neck. All right. Who did it? A necktie or simply a tie? I'll get through this quick. Is a piece of cloth, blah, blah, blah. Origin. Go there. The necktie that spread from Europe. Okay, the necktie that spread from Europe. This is the origin of the necktie, according to Wikipedia, unedited by me, because I am just now seeing it, because I didn't have the foresight to look this up, because I didn't know I was going to talk about neckties, because I didn't know I was going to talk about sharing beds, because I didn't know I was going to talk about weighted blankets, because I didn't know my finger hurt until I picked up this stupid cup of coffee, and now whatever I'm doing this episode about doesn't even matter, because now I'm on a YouTube rabbit hole on the air looking up the origin of the stupid necktie. All right. That's how the soup gets made, kids. The necktie that spread from Europe traces back to Croatian mercenaries. Ooh, the Croats. Serving in France during the 30 Years' War. Okay, these mercenaries from the military frontier, wearing their traditional small, knotted neckerchiefs, aroused the interest of the Parisians. That's an open-ended sentence. Arouse the interest of the Parisians. I can think of 30 different ways that story could end. Because of the differences between the Croatian word for Croats, cravati, and the French word Croats, the garment gained the name cravat. All right, whatever. I don't need all this shit. Louis XIV began wearing a lace cravat. There we are. There it is. When he was 7, you dumb French child, and set the fashion for French nobility. Of course, French nobility took their cues from a 7-year-old king. Ugh. Cannot imagine living back then. The cravat. This new article of clothing started a fashion craze in Europe. Both men and women wore pieces of fabric around their blah, 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 blah. Then what? What happened? That's all right. I understand that. Some battle time stuff. That makes sense. How are the people wearing this? 1710, 1715. Another kind of neckwear called stocks made its appearance. S-T-O-C-K-S. The term originally referred to a leather collar laced at the back. Starting to sound kinky. That part's mine. Worn by soldiers to promote holding the head high in a military bearing. Oh, one of those posture correcting. Those things they sell on Kickstarter all the time. All right, this didn't last long. Apparently the stocks didn't take. Somewhere in the late 18th century, cravats began to appear again. Okay, crap. Where's the one I'm talking about? With the Industrial Revolution, more people wanted neckwear that was easy to put on, was comfortable, and would last an entire work day. Okay, that's when these long, thin neckties came into. What a bunch of crap. Where did this start? There was so much interest in the early 1800s in the way to tie a proper cravat. It led to a series of publications. Get the fuck out of here. Come on. This is in 1818, the publication of Neckclothitania. Neckclothitania, a style manual that contained illustrated instructions on how to tie 14 different cravats. Soon after, the immense skill required to tie the cravat in certain styles quickly became a mark of a man's elegance and wealth, and therein lies the answer. How quickly we got to the bottom of the necktie. The Croatians started it. The gay Parisians stole the fashion sense. The young boy king pushed it into the forefront. Stocks gave it a whirl, but they didn't really stick. The cravat came back, and the more complicated your cravat, the more uppity you appeared to your friends, which is what drives almost everything in the entire world. You stupid necktie. Oh, it's the same thing. What's in the... This is a page from the Necktie. The ballroom tie, when well put on, is quite delicious. They got drawings of these dumb tie neckerchiefs. The ballroom tie, when well put on, is quite delicious. It unites the qualities of the mathematical and the Irish, having two collateral dents and two horizontal ones. The one above is in the former, the other below is in the latter. It has no knot, but is fastened as the Napoleon. This should never, of course, be made with colors, but with the purest and most brilliant blanc de innocence virginal. I don't know, but... Stop! Somebody's whole life was writing a book about how to tie a handkerchief. I don't know why I did that in that accent. That's not an 1818 accent. That's a 1920s accent, right? Come here, dame. What accent would they have... What accent was it in the 1818s? It's an American accent, right? Did you know that? This is one of those. This is why you do research. This is why I don't do research, because I like to be the guy at a bar, confidently saying things with nothing to back it up, but the ability to Google if I get myself in a pinch. This is one of the biggest myths, I think, that exists in the entire world. We don't think about it. I don't even know if it's a myth. It's just one of the things we don't think about at all, right? So I have always assumed that there was some point in American history where we lost our English accents. Are you like me? Okay. I thought the English accent, we came over here with that dumb shit, and then we built a country, and then eventually we changed it. And that is not, I don't think, the case. I think that the American accent is the original accent, and the English have since adopted their accent. Look it up. It's because what's the word? Yeah, I know this because I had to look up the word rhotic, R-O-T-I-C, and it refers to whether or not you use a hard R or a soft R. It's not what I was looking it up. And it also, I mean, it's like in the English accent, like I'm trying to think of a word that hard versus hard. We say hard, they say hard or whatever. And they adopted that. That's some 1800 stuff that the English started dropping their R's out so they didn't sound like us. And that's what I would do if I got my ass whooped by a country that we were trying. Anyway, I'm not making that up. I don't know what to Google immediately to find the answer. It's amazing, though, when you find that out. Like, I didn't realize, because my whole life I've thought the other way around. I thought we came from them and not so feel like Charlton Heston. For anybody else, like Charlton Heston in Planet of the Apes, when he sees the Statue of Liberty, it's just like, wait, we've been here all along. And the colonists speaking with American accents instead of English accents is just another way Hamilton is more correct than my history books, too. What else? What did I come to talk about? I wrote all kind of stuff down. I was going to get a tattoo. I was going to talk about that. Whatever. There's stuff here. I don't know. I make notes sometimes about what I'm going to talk about, and then I look up 20 minutes into the show, and I'm off on a tangent. And then sometimes I'll look at my notes, and I can't figure out why I wrote down what I wrote down. Oh, why would I? Nobody's ever going to say, I wish I'd gone to the gym more. That's okay. I wrote it down. It means something. It's not I tell you this, I know I didn't write that down because it's like, I clearly wrote it down to make fun of it. It's like a motivational poster you'd see in an insurance agency. Just hang in there. Just somebody slaving away for $7 an hour doing file work. Yeah, you need that poster cat. This isn't that. This isn't a way of reminding you to hug your kids more and spend less time in the gym. That's not why I wrote it down. I'm assuming I wrote it down because it's incorrect. Nobody's ever going to say, I wish I'd gone to the gym more. Yes, people will say that on their deathbeds, which is clearly where I meant that they would say that. Nobody's ever going to say, I wish I'd gone to the gym more on my deathbed. Yes, you will if you're dying from obesity. Is that why I wrote that down? It can't be. It's not a big enough punchline to write that down. I didn't think of that until just now, so clearly not. Anyway, whatever. Back to my tattoos. Before I get there, shows coming up, I guess mentioned. We just finished the benefit for the Matthews family, my dear friends. Hello to everybody I saw from my hometown, some of my neighborhood, the kids on my street growing up. That was very cool. Some high school friends, and of course, a lot of my family from Comedy Texas, the old comics, and the Matthews family. You guys were beautiful. Coming up, Lima Pax River is happening this week, but you can't really come. It's a military base. Louisville, that's the big one, the 25th through the 27th. Louisville, Kentucky. Me and my good buddy Jerry Wayne Longmire get on the train. We'll be there. Fort Worth, September 16th and 17th. I'm not sure who I'm working with that weekend. I'm not bringing anybody. I love the Dallas comedy scene. If you're a Dallas comic and you want to do a guest spot, just tell them. I'll probably say yes. I adore almost all of you guys. That's a really funny scene. So I'm just going to take the luck of the draw when I get there. And then I'm doing Ottawa and Toronto at the end of October. So I think like October 18th through the 30th, Ottawa one week, and then Toronto the following week, or vice versa. All my dates, sladeham.com. List of things I'm going to get a sponsor for on this show. Aside from a bike, which I still don't have. Aside from a bed, which I've already complained about. What else do I need? I've got everything else I want. Some more joggers. I need I want to get into an arrangement with a tattoo artist and a specific tattoo. I don't know who yet. I don't even know what I want yet, but I'm inching closer to getting one. And I can't get over. I've always talked myself out of it because I keep seeing my friend. This is part of my indecisiveness. I did an episode of a podcast, a friend of mine's show, the Old Man Wade Show. I think we talk about this. My indecisiveness in life. I tend to look around me and I get paranoid about long-term commitments. And tattoos are long-term commitments. And I look at generational fads and how they sort of disappear. The last cool one was maybe the Sailor Jerry stuff in the 50s. You know, that was whatever that era was. And then I don't know what happened in the middle of that, but by the 90s, it's tribal tattoos and barbed wire and tramp stamps. And then I start seeing those people regretting all that. And I'm like, thank God I didn't get that on my shoulder when we were all drunk at the tattoo party, you know? And then the 2000s, girls took it over as dream catchers. Chinese letters and whatever Angelina Jolie had on her body at the time. The 2000s, 2010s, I guess, later, I've seen so many girl the dream catchers and the watercolor shit, the sternum bugs, the sternum bugs. That's not what I was trying to say. It's like a scarab beetle, but on your chest, and it's like dragonflies, or you just get bugs that put their legs under your boobs. And then their heads up in like you're feeding them something. I don't know what's going on. So I see all of this, and I see some of this stuff get regretted. I'm like, well, all right, well, I got to think of something personal. And then even if I thought of something I really wanted, which I still can't decide on, I would have to find an artist I trust, because that's not just, I'm amazed at how casually some of you just get stuff. Like it doesn't matter. Like you just walk in, who's free? Like you're getting your hair cut. You don't even go to Supercuts and just walk in. Whoever, whatever, just do it. But tattoos, I know so many people are like, let's just go get tattoos. Like, don't you have to call a person who's an artist, like a real, like, shouldn't this be arranged in advance? I know some people whose bodies are canvases legitimately like that. They have specific artists that they dig, and the sessions are meaningful and the artwork is meaningful. And then I know some people are just like, this is a bird vomiting on my leg. Ha! And you're like, that's forever. Ever. Who did it? It was just on the wall. It's like you were a high school book cover. I have a tattoo. I have one tattoo. I was stabbed by a pencil in the 10th grade, maybe. Kid I went to school with. I don't remember. It's just a sharp pen. I bet there are thousands of us with childhood pencil tattoos or pen tattoos from someone stabbing us and it going subdermal and us just not doing anything about it ever. Because I'm sure eventually my body spit the lead out and then it just left the graphite under the surface. So technically I got a tattoo. Thank you, Kirk. But I don't have any other ones, and I'm thinking about it, and I got to figure out what I want, where I want. So I think I'm going to do, this arm, this space. Not this one. Maybe this one. I don't know. Maybe both of them. It's probably where I'm headed, down the tattoo road. We shall see. So many things we didn't really talk about today, but hey, we learned about neckties together. So there's that. Not a total waste of time. Sladeham.com. If there's anything you want to know about me, just go there. All the rest of my videos on YouTube are fun. You can follow me. I do this shit on TikTok too. But mainly come out to the live shows because that's the only stuff I really care about, and that's where I'd love to see your faces. See you on another episode soon.